And welcome into our second episode of This Week in Kahok Nation. Coming up on this second installment, we're going to be visiting with this young man over here. That is London Fluss. He is a Kahok golfer and baseball player, a couple of sport athlete there. And Clay Smith will have an interview with Bobby Wright a little bit later on. He is the CHS band director. And we'll also have a interview with Allison Underwood. She is the director of special education for the Collinsville School District. So we appreciate all three of them showing up as we say hello to Mr. London Fluss. He is a senior this year, just finishing up his fourth year as a Kahok golfer. So before we get started onto the golfing stuff, tell everybody a little bit about your family, mom, dad, sister, cats, dogs, all that good stuff.
Oh, let's see. I got a sister. Her name's Lydia. She's a junior that goes here. My mom, my dad. My mom's a hairdresser. Dad's a lineman. Pretty normal stuff.
Cats, dogs?
Yeah, I got two dogs. One's Heidi, one's Penny. Good dogs.
Yeah, what kind of dogs are they?
One of them's a Weimaraner, yellow lab mix, and then we don't know what the other one is.
I don't even know what a Weimaraner is.
Weimar, it's like, they're fast, let's just say that. They're fast, skinny, yeah.
We actually have a little bit of a relationship. My daughter Addison and his sister Lydia, who we just spoke of, were best friends back in the days of Holy Cross when they were doing their elementary schooling there. So we know a little bit about each other, so it's not like we're complete strangers.
Yeah.
I've never seen you play, though, because I don't get out to the golf matches that often.
Yeah.
And as far as being on the baseball team goes, last year you missed your junior year, so
yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't have been playing the year that I did the previous year when you were a sophomore. So let's talk about right now and here and the pandemic and everything. We just mentioned that you lost your junior year as a baseball player, and here you are as a golfer during your senior year. Yep. How weird has 2020 been, starting with the loss of your baseball season and now you're playing golf in a pandemic year?
Well, I think where it starts is we definitely didn't expect the baseball season to get canceled last year, and we most definitely didn't expect it to roll over into this school year. So it's been different. I mean, you can't take the sports-wise, golf-wise, you can't take the pins out of the holes. So if a ball hits it and it goes out, I mean, it's tough luck. A couple people have lost strokes like that this year. Everything's crazy. Everything's the way that you would have never thought it would have been, really.
Yeah. You guys started the year off with the Alton Redbird Tee-Off Classic. That was at Spencer T. Olin, 10th out of 13 teams there. But from there, it seems like you guys got progressively better each week. Talk about how the season started and where you are now.
Well, season started, we were all a little rusty because, you know, it's how it is at the beginning of the season. But I think we got a lot better throughout the season. Such as last year we didn't win anything. This year we won a couple matches. Tournaments didn't go so well, but I'm happy the younger kids are getting better for sure. You can see it every single time that they're getting better. So
how did you get started in the golf game?
Golf game, actually, one summer my dad just asked me to go with him, and ever since then I kind of fell in love with it, you could say. I love to play. I like to go out every single day.
And when was that? How old were you when you first started?
It was the summer of my freshman year. So after freshman year, it was that summer. I just went out, played once, and then played a whole bunch since then. So
you have any favorite on the PGA Tour that you follow?
I'm gonna have to go, obviously, Tiger Woods. I've been watching Tiger Woods forever, but I think my favorite one is probably Dustin Johnson. Yeah. Just because of how far he drives the ball, and I got to see him in person at the Masters last year. So.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and there's a big change in the guard right now. I mean, you mentioned Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Tiger Woods play and do his thing. Not really growing up. I was probably already an adult, but fascinating and got me into golf probably more than I would have, even though I was already interested because of the likes of Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus and things like that. And, of course, you know, you got lefty. I'm a left-hander, so Phil Mickelson one of my favorites. But talk about the new guard coming up. You talked about Dustin Johnson, Bruce Koepka, the guy who just won the U.S. Open, DeChambeau.
Bryson DeChambeau.
Man, that dude, I tell you what, you want to talk about a guy who can drive.
Oh, man, he can drive it, but no one else really does what he does. He kind of brought his own thing to the game, kind of brought his own style. You see everyone else, they kind of have the same swing, and then you look at him, he's so stiff with everything he does, but he makes it work, and he's he's obviously one of the best in the world right
Big
now.
muscular guy too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's parlay that into your game. What is the strong point of your game?
Strong point of my game, I'd say probably the tee box. I'm pretty good with my driver. Everything other than that, I'm trying to work on, but I'd say my driver is probably definitely my strong suit.
Short game or putting is the one you need work on? Which one?
Both, honestly. But I'd say short game more. I chunk a lot of chips that I really shouldn't. So.
Madison County tournament at Belk Park. You guys took 5th place in large schools. You ended up in 7th out of the 12 teams played. Talk about that tournament.
That tournament was very fun and also challenging, just because you have all the nerves at once that if you hit a bad shot, then it's going to hurt your team. You know what I mean? It's stressful for sure, but I think I love the tournaments. Even win or lose, you still get to go out there and play a free round of golf with some new kids that you get to meet that day. So it's pretty cool.
Your first home Southwestern Conference match was versus Belleville West, and you guys won that game, 175 to 183 at Arlington, which is considered your home course. Do you prefer playing on that course more than any other courses around?
Oh yeah.
Why? What's the difference?
I would say just because I've played it endless times that I know everything about it. You know where you're at. You know how to hit the shot. I think knowing the course helps you a lot. And that's,
what's the nemesis course for London Flush? Which course are you like, oh man, we got to play there?
Probably Stonewolf.
Really?
Yep, Stonewolf for sure. It's the elevation change and everything about it. There's water, there's hazards everywhere. It's a tough course.
Well, then you guys you went into September, and we're going to jump all the way ahead to the end of September. The Dick Gerber Invitational, which was at Oak Brook and at Fox Creek. You had a pretty good first day by some extremes and by some standards, but your next day you improved over your day one score by 7 strokes. 85 golfers that were in this tournament, and you were only one of 7 golfers that improved from day one to day 2. Talk about that.
I'd say mostly it was because I didn't practice Oak Brook like I practiced Fox Creek. I went to Fox Creek a couple times. Just wanted to, kind of get a lay of the land, because that's a course with a whole bunch of blind shots. So you really have to know it to be able to play it. And thank God I went there a couple days before, because I actually knew what I was doing there. So
you we'll talk about the course that you don't like. Wouldn't that be a course that you would maybe want to go out there on your off time and see if you can get better at it? Oh
yeah, for sure. Stonewolf, I mean, it's a challenge, but when you golf so much, you start to want the challenge, you know what I mean? So yeah, I love going to Stonewolf just because it kicks my butt every single time I go there. It doesn't mean I want to stop.
So you like the challenge?
I love the challenge.
Yeah. All right, you had another Southwestern Conference match earlier in August against Alton. You only lost that one by 2 strokes, man. Did you guys get, the baseball teams, the basketball teams, the football teams, they're all pumped up when it's a Southwestern Conference rival that they're facing. Is that the same in golf?
I wouldn't say it really is the same. There is some schools that we want to beat more than others. So I guess to a certain extent, yeah. But when I feel like in most sports, you're very competitive with the person you're playing against. That's the same for golf, but you never want to see the team that you're playing against fail. You know what I mean? You want to see everyone hit good golf shots. So I'd say that there isn't really a big rivalry, but there's definitely schools that we want to beat more than others. You had a really great matchup on the 21st of September against Granite City, man. You guys got them by 1 stroke. How cool is that to win by 1 stroke? And did you guys know when you were maybe on 16, 17, 18 that it was that close? No, the thing about that is that we never know on the course. We don't know what our teammates are shooting or anything. We just know about what we're doing. So I was actually very surprised to hear that we beat them. That was really cool that we were able to beat them by 1 stroke, though. And then you think about it, that 1 stroke, if someone misses 1 putt, then it's a tie. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, par 3 courses, do you like those? I don't like those. No? I don't like par 3 courses. Why not? Just because my favorite part about golf is the fact that once you bogey a par 4, you got a par 5, the next one that's easier to get par on. So That's what I like to do. I like to use my driver too.
And you mentioned, yeah, your favorite thing is teeing off, and when you
Yep.
tee off at Yorktown, you can't put all your might into it.
Nope, no, you cannot.
No, I like to play Yorktown because I'm not that good of a golfer. And,
Yeah.
you know, that 200 yards is like, okay, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you had to pick your favorite place to play that's not around here, have you played outside of the state of Illinois?
No, I have not.
No, you haven't gone across the river and played anything over there?
Never.
No?
I want to though.
Yeah.
Badly.
That would be cool. I interviewed Ricky Merlack, was in our first show.
Yeah.
Lady Kahok golfer. Do you guys ever get together and have little friendlies, the boys team and the girls team?
No, we actually don't, but there's a tournament that we get every year where it's the boy-girl scramble. So us boys get to team up with the girls, and that's probably one of the most fun tournaments of the year just because, you know, scrambles are always more fun, but the fact that one of the guys gets to go with one of the girls and they can do it together, it's probably my favorite tournament of the year. That's
London Floss. I'm Todd Duke. You're tuned into episode number 2 of This Week in Kahok Nation. Let's switch gears for a little bit and talk about baseball. I think isn't that your primary sport?
Yeah, that is my primary
Yeah, okay. So tell me about your love of baseball and how that started.
Love of baseball started for, I don't know, as long as I can remember, I've played baseball. So I think the way I started really was my dad just kind of put me on the T-ball team, and everything just kind of took off from there. So.
What, I know you missed your junior season. I'm sure you're looking real forward to your senior season. What's the future hold for London Flush? You pursuing golf? You pursuing baseball in college at the next level, or any of that?
I'm actually not pursuing sports in college. I think I'm going to go to college, either get my 4-year or my 2-year degree, and then probably become a lineman, just like my dad.
Nice.
Yep.
So when high school ends, that's going to be it for sports?
That's it.
Except for leisurely fun activities?
Yep, and hopefully I get to join a golf league.
Yeah. Join a golf league. Softball, is that a thought? Because I mean, there's not a lot of baseball leagues you can join.
For sure, softball. Yeah. I mean, all my friends' dads play it, so I'm sure once I get out of high school, I'll be playing it with them. So.
Any idea where you're going to go to school?
I think right now my option is SWIC. That's what I'm thinking of right now. But if after that, I might go to another university after that, but I'm not sure yet.
We are, of course, taping this like we're going to do all of them about a week in advance, so we don't run into the fact where we're scrambling on Monday to find somebody to interview to put a show on Wednesday. So this one won't air until the 14th of October. By then, your regionals will have already been played, and hopefully maybe you can get into sectionals. I don't know how that works, but talk about the upcoming regionals and what that means to you.
So the upcoming regionals actually took a turn this year. So they'll usually take, I think that they usually take the top 4 teams and they take a bunch of individuals after that. But this year, they're only taking the top 2 teams and they're only taking the top 4 individuals after that. So, I mean, I don't want to count myself out of it, but I'm going to have to play the best golf of my life to make a sectional. So it's a lot harder this year. And yeah, I would have liked to make it.
We mentioned that this is your senior year, so it's a year like none other, man.
Yep.
You're only in the building 2 days a week, and you're probably missing some of your friends and things like that. So talk to me about your senior year in this world of pandemic and how it's going for you and what you think it's going to end up like.
Well, senior year has been the craziest year ever, especially for school. I mean, we didn't even go to school for the first 2 weeks, and we had to find that out the day before we were supposed to go. And I think I do like what they're trying to do with at least having us come to the school. They're trying to make it as normal as possible, but I honestly like going to school 2 days a week, but that's just me as a student. So I do like what they're doing. I like that we're able to go to school and be with some of our friends. So
that's cool. All right, London, thanks a lot for the visit, man. We appreciate it, and
Thank
good
you.
luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
All right, that is London Fluss. He is a Kahok golfer and Kahok baseball player, and we're going to take our first time out here. Coming up next, Clay Smith is going to talk things over with Bobby Wright. He is the CHS band director, and this is their home. They're usually out here doing their things on Friday nights, but again, things are different this year, so our conversation with Mr. Wright coming up next on This Week in Kahok Nation.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Everyone has those projects around the house that you just don't want to do. AW Outdoor Solutions can take care of that for you. Former Collinsville High School graduate Adam Welly owns AW Outdoor Solutions, and he and his crew can handle all of the dirty work around your home or business. Whether that's tree trimming and maintenance, brush removal, power washing, gutter cleaning, and leaf raking and removal. AW Outdoor Solutions can handle that and much more. AW Outdoor Solutions is fully insured and offers free estimates on all of their work. AW Outdoor Solutions. Call Adam Welly at 314-252-8010 or on Facebook at AW Outdoor Solutions.
Just because you can cut your own hair doesn't mean you should. The Shop, a great place in Collinsville for men and boys haircuts, is where you should take your hair. The Shop is owned and operated by Collinsville High School graduates Danny Kress and Jody Neiman and is located at 103 South Seminary Street in Uptown Collinsville. The Shop isn't just another place to get a haircut, as Danny and Jody take great joy in getting to know their clients and look forward to turning those clients into friends. When you sit in a stylish chair at the Shop, Jody and Danny pride themselves on getting to know you well enough to say, "The usual?" So, men and boys, if you're tired of the same old cookie-cutter approach to haircuts, check out Danny and Jody at the Shop. You may just walk out with not only a fantastic cut, but you may also walk out with a friend. Or two. The Shop in Collinsville, 618-772-7175. No appointment necessary. The Shop, 103 South Seminary in Uptown Collinsville.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Do we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees. Or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville, owned by former Kahok Jay Merkel. At Extreme Details, they believe in the value of community and in helping the community hold the value of their vehicles. A sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details offers drop-off, pickup, and delivery service, as well as a mobile service, whether that's a simple wash and wax or all the way up to a full detail job.
No job is too big or too small for Extreme Details. Plus, Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal and vacuums every vehicle regardless of what package you choose. Cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, and more. Extreme Details in Collinsville. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday. Call Jay Merkel for an appointment at 301-6033 or 977-1224.
And welcome to This Week in Kahok Nation. My name's Clay Smith. I'm the athletic director here at Collinsville High School, and I am with our ever so popular band director, Mr. Bobby Wright. Mr. Wright, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Clay. How are you?
I am fantastic. We are good. So as you can tell, Mr. Wright and I are at the promised land of Kahok Stadium, the football/soccer field. And the reason we're out here today, number one, so Mr. Wright and I can stay socially distant, and number two, this stadium is Mr. Wright's home away from home in a normal school year. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of things, Mr. Wright, why don't you just tell Kahok Nation a little bit about yourself and how you became a Kahok?
Right on. Well, thanks, Mr. Smith. Like he said, my name is Bobby Wright. I'm the band director here. I actually went through Collinsville High School. I graduated in 2008, which seems to me like it was just yesterday, but apparently to the kids it was forever ago. After that, I went to the University of Illinois, was a member of the Marching Illini, eventually a drum major there, and then I eventually came back here, applied and was accepted for the position of band director, and so here I stand.
That's fantastic. So tell the people at home, in a normal school year, we're in the heart of our football season, we're in the heart of band season. In a normal school year, what would our Kahok band be doing right now this time of year?
Right on. Normally, we would be out here rehearsing probably right this minute. The kids are late. And we would be working on our marching band show that we would perform for the football game tonight, as well as we would have a competition for tomorrow. I don't remember exactly where that would have been, but we would have just concluded our own hosting competition here at Collinsville High School, the Gateway Marching Classic, and then the kids would have been working hard to go up against some of the other bands in the area, the St. Louis area tomorrow, to see what we had. So that would be about where we're at.
And that Gateway Marching Classic competition, that's a huge deal, right?
Absolutely.
How many schools do we have come to Collinsville High School to participate in that?
Typically we have between 8 and 15 schools, depending on the year.
And that's an all-day event, correct?
Correct.
Just one day, not all weekend?
Right.
Yeah, just a one-day event. So, as we know, the pandemic has hit the world of athletics in a tough way. It's hit us hard in the halls as well, but a lot of times people forget about the fine arts and the band of the world. And our band kids, I love coming here in the summer. Being a 12-month employee, I get to come here every day, and the band is here just about every single day, giving it their all. Mr. Wright has them in the parking lot going through some very tough exercises to get those kids ready to perform. So they're out here working hard, so this has been very, very tough on everybody involved. So obviously we've all had to adjust. We've made adjustments in the classroom, we made adjustments on the field, we made adjustments in life, just in everyday normal things. What can the band do now? What are some type of activities that you're doing to keep our kids engaged?
Absolutely. During the school day, whenever we have the kids who are involved in the hybrid learning, we spread them out 6 feet apart, and then we also have instrumental masks that cover the end of the instrument so that when they play, it absorbs just similar to a normal mask you would wear on your face. So in those classes, we've been working on our rudimentary exercises, just the basic building blocks, because we lost all of the time in the spring, as well as our summer rehearsals, to get the kids where we want them to be academically and, frankly, how well they can play. So we're taking the time to make sure that that's what it needs to be. Mm-hmm. And then we are also holding 3 days a week after school. And for that, we do outdoor rehearsals down by vocational to get away from the wind a little bit, because we have sheet music that blows. And we're working on some woodwind choirs, brass choir. Our drum line's still going strong, so you guys will get to see them soon, hopefully, anytime we get an event.
Excellent.
And we're going to put on a little concert on the 15th, an outdoor parking lot concert, so that people can drive and stay in their cars but get to listen to the band and see what the kids have been working so hard for.
Great. Now, is that outdoor concert for parents only?
Yeah, it's for parents and friends.
Okay.
So we are we're going to fill the parking lot with socially distant vehicles, so every other spot. So I haven't done the math quite yet, but I think we should be able to hold roughly about 100 vehicles out there, and that way we're going to amplify the students too, so that the parents can stay in the car and still be able to get the full effect of what the kids are doing.
Great. Now, what about in the classroom portion of band? Are you able to continue on as normal in your classroom in the halls of CHS, or do you have to adapt a little bit there as well?
It's extremely adapted. We only have 19 as our biggest class, and a band is normally 48. And with last names, I mean, we don't pick instruments by name, so we have a total random instrumentation. So putting that together is it's interesting. The kids do a wonderful job kind of adapting themselves and opening up their ears to listen and adapt, but it has been a struggle, to say the least.
Our kids are resilient, aren't they? It's amazing to me how wonderful they're doing things within our halls and our classrooms, and that's just another great example that I think our kids are willing to do what they have to do to get back to some normalcy in their erupted lives here. How many kids do we normally have in your CHS band?
Well, we've been growing significantly since over the past couple of years. This year we were set to be at about 180. And we would have been about 150 on the marching band field for you guys. And then our concert bands, we would have 3 different concert bands sitting right around 100, or at about 50 each. And then we also have our Winter Guard and Color Guard programs that add about another 30 to that.
That's great. Those are terrific numbers.
They are. Hopefully we can keep them as we move out of the pandemic whenever that happens.
Well, if there's anybody that can keep them, I have no doubt that Mr. Wright is our guy. And what about parades? Did you mention parades? How many parades did we? I assume all the parades were probably canceled throughout the summer, from what I've heard.
Right.
How many parades do you guys normally?
Typically, we do between 8 and 9 parades. This year, we've done exactly 0.
And those are both locally and St. Louis area. Anywhere else?
Exactly. We typically do the St. Louis 4th of July parade, and then we have the Maryville, Caseyville, Italian Fest, Veterans Day, Memorial Day. So it's a pretty good number that we're missing out on.
Yeah, it's been tough. So, and I also imagine we're rooting for Illinois basketball to happen, being a graduate of Illinois.
Heck yeah.
They're supposed to be pretty good this year, so hopefully we can see them get back on the court.
Right on.
That'd be great. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. Mr. Wright is a huge asset to our school district and Collinsville High School. The amount of work that him and his team and his kids put on this field alone is enormous. So we miss him greatly seeing him out here, and we just hope that someday soon we'll be able to get back here in some normalcy and watch you guys do your thing.
Right on. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for having me out.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a great week, Kahok Nation. We'll see you next time.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups, and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipStLouis.com, or call Pack Mail at 346-4884. The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current one? Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now. Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis to help you find the perfect home or to help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at 618-780-4622 or visit them online at blaylockteam.com or on Facebook at the Blaylock Team. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East in termite management. Do you have unwanted pests? Then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
First National Bank of Waterloo, celebrating over 100 years of banking. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, now with locations in Collinsville and Maryville, for your mortgage and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, call Bill Metzger at First National Bank of Waterloo at 345-1121 or visit them with their new locations in Collinsville and Maryville or online at fnbwaterloo.com. First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, fish, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they still cater. Wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and much more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses as well as delicious sides. Cafe Agape in Collinsville is the only place to pick up a Kahawk sandwich or dog and the new Flamin' Kahawk sandwich. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road. Give them a call at 345-CAFE, that's 345-2233, and don't forget to tell them Stewie sent you.
Welcome back to This Week in Kahawk Nation. I am Todd Duke, and it gives me my pleasure to introduce you to Allie Underwood. Allie is the Director of Special Education for the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and we thank you for showing up. Now let's get started with a little get to know you a little bit. We work in the same building sometimes, and I still feel like I don't really know you too well. So fill us in on the family aspect of your life first. Husband, kids, cats, dogs, all that stuff.
Sure. My name is Allie Underwood. I am the Director of Special Education, and I have worked for the Collinsville District this is my 13th year. I am married to my husband, Tom, of 5 years now, and we have a 3-year-old little boy named Landon and a boxer named Holly.
Holly?
Holly.
That's a nice name for a boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so tell us a little bit about your upbringing in this world and how you ended up here in the Collinsville School District.
Sure. I graduated from a neighboring school district from high school, from Triad, I won't even go with what year. And then I went to SIUE, and I graduated with my bachelor's in special education. And this was my first teaching position. I started at the high school. I co-taught for 5 years with Mr. Toberman and a couple of the other teachers in the English department. And then I was the IEP coordinator at the high school for a year. And then I came out to Hollywood when we opened the alternative program here under the former special education director. And I was the principal here and the special ed supervisor for 3 years, and then the director of special education since then.
What was life for you growing up as a student at Triad High School? Take us back, and what did you do in high school? What was your thing?
I was a cheerleader all through high school and middle school, actually, and I was involved with student council and things like that.
When did you know that you wanted to get into education?
I've always wanted to be an educator. Always. I always wanted to be an educator. At first, I wanted to be an elementary educator, and then the summer between my freshman and sophomore year of college, I worked for the summer school, special ed summer school over at Triad, and I absolutely fell in love with working with students with special ed needs, and I was basically a one-on-one for a student that summer, and I just loved it, and so I switched to special education, and luckily I wasn't so far into my college journey that it changed my amount of classes I needed or anything like that, and I just kind of kept going from there. And then when I became a teacher, I wanted to be a principal, and I wanted to be an elementary principal, and then I ended up being a special education supervisor and administrator, which is obviously quite different than being an elementary principal.
Sure is.
But everything that has led me to this point, I've absolutely enjoyed and loved, and I do love being here in Collinsville.
So normally when you run into somebody who got bitten by the educational bug in high school or around that age, and they say, you know what, I want to be a teacher. Normally it's because of a teacher's impact on them. So did you have that one special teacher that you were like, man, that's what I want to be when I grow up?
I didn't have one special teacher necessarily. I had a lot of wonderful special teachers that meant a lot to me, but my aunt and uncle were in education growing up, and they really valued education, and I feel like they instilled that in me. I spent a lot of time with them. They live in Kansas City. I spent a lot of time with them in the summers growing up, and it just was something that stuck with me.
Talked about going to Triad and graduating there and then heading off to college. Tell us a little bit about your time in college.
It was pretty, I want to say kind of boring. I worked and went to school, and that was pretty much it. And since I just went to SIUE and pretty much stayed at home, I didn't join a sorority or anything like that. And I made some great college friends once I was in my program, in the special ed teacher prep program. Some of them actually work here with us in the district, which has been awesome to be able to grow as an educator in our careers together. But otherwise, it was pretty boring, really. I wasn't in a sorority or anything like that.
You said you were a cheerleader at Triad High School. Did you do any extracurricular activities at the college level?
No, I did not.
No?
Nope. I just really focused on schoolwork and working, because I wasn't able to work a lot in high school with the extracurriculars, and I was ready to make my own way and pay my own bills. Boy, I wish I wouldn't have started that so early.
That's Allie Underwood. She's the Director of Special Education for the Collinsville School District. So let's talk about that job. What does that title do? What do you do?
Oh, I wear a lot of different hats. With being a pre-K to 12th grade district here, and we identify students as early as 3 years old coming into the district who need services, and it's given me a lot of great experiences working with all the different buildings and all the different educators in this district. A lot of different parents, everybody's coming from a lot of different backgrounds because we're such a diverse community and district, and I think that's one of the best parts about this job is that no 2 days are the same. Every day is something different. And as far as, just the day-to-day, I mean, it could be anything with working with another administrator on a project, or helping support a teacher with something, or reaching out to schedule professional development for our special ed staff, working with parents, sitting in IEP meetings. It really is not the same from day to day.
Special education, I think, takes on a new meaning than it did maybe 20, 30 years ago. When I was going to school at the Collinsville School District back in the 70s and 80s, special education was the kids in the wheelchairs, the kids who had to use the walkers, and things like that. It's not like that anymore, is it?
Nope. We service we provide services to roughly 1,200 students here in the district with IEPs, and that ranges for students with very minimal needs and accommodations to where you wouldn't know that they needed an IEP necessarily, kind of like you'd referred to historically what special education looked like, to students with more intense needs and challenges. And we have a wide continuum of services. We provide services in the general education setting. We provide very small specialized instructional services. We provide services for social emotional needs, for hearing impairment, vision impairment, different medical diagnoses. I mean, you name it, I feel we cover it. And there are several different categories students qualify under, and we have them all here. So it's interesting. And you can't really tell. You really can't tell if a student needs help or not a lot of times.
IAP, I hear that a lot. For those that don't know, what is an IAP?
An IEP is an individualized education program. And so basically what that means is that we are planning for a student's academic and social emotional needs, and it's very individualized and tailored to each student.
All right, so tell me about the job that you have in the year that we are in 2020 in this pandemic, and what it has done to special education in the Collinsville School District and how you're coping with it.
We have, looking at students' IEPs and looking at that very individualized aspect, we've really been able, I feel like, to differentiate students that may need to attend more often than 2 days a week, students that did come in for services when we were fully remote at the beginning of the year. Very minimal, but I mean, we do have students that we need to provide services to in person. And so some of the teletherapy things that we do as an effort to combat the social distancing requirements and meet those needs in that way, it's definitely been challenging. We have amazing special education teachers and related service providers and educational assistants in this district. I could not be more proud of the staff that we have, and everyone has really risen to the occasion and done what's needed to be done to try to meet all of our kids' needs.
What's the best part of your job? What do you like the most?
The best part of my job is the relationships I get to build with the staff and with the students and with the parents. That is absolutely my favorite part of this job.
All right, before we let you go, tell us a little bit about what you do for fun when you're not hanging out in the school buildings and wearing your purple clothes and being a Collinsville Special Education Director. What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I spend every waking moment that I can with my kiddo and my husband. And my family. My parents are very important to me, and my in-laws, and we're very close. And so spending time with my family is what I do anytime I can.
Do we go on vacations to faraway lands, exotic places, or things like that, or is it only on the internet?
Well, not as much obviously right now, but yes, we do like to vacation and do family vacations really with actually our whole family. So that's what we do.
If there's any one thing you'd like to let the parents know out there that have the kids in the school district that are in the special education part of things, what would it be?
Just to keep, especially this year, just to keep an open line of communication with your students, teachers, and any related staff providers that they may have, and definitely work directly through them with those concerns. They are going to be your best advocate, and know your kiddo the best, and know to be able to help support them with you as a team to get through all of this craziness.
It is craziness. That's why we're doing this show, because I have no sports. And we're delighted that we can talk to folks that we don't normally get to talk to, such as yourself. When I am out doing sports, it's all about sports.
Sure.
Here we are with this show trying to fill the void, and we're going to talk to more and more teachers and administrators and things like that, not just a sports-related program. So we thank you very much for taking the time out and visiting with us, and good luck the rest of the school year.
Thank you very much for your time.
Sure. That is Allie Underwood. She is the Special Education Director for the Collinsville School District, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more on This Week in Kahok Nation in just a moment.
Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces and donates 25 cents a unit sold to first responder and military organizations to aid the fallen and assist with suicide prevention and PTSD awareness. Stop on by. See the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place world champion Patriot sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
The reviews are in. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville is a hit in the Metro East. Folks both local and visiting the area are calling Old Herald Brewery and Distillery a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is located at 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville and is home to one of the only restaurants in the state with their own brewery and distillery that produces some of the best brews and spirits in the area. And the food, all created by an in-house chef using local ingredients that will please any palate. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville has daily specials including patio service and curbside pickup. Get yourself a bottle or a growler to go, or dine on their patio where you can hear live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Don't forget about Old Herald's open mic night the second and last Tuesday of every month. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville. Check their Facebook page for daily specials, online ordering at oldheraldbrewery.com, or call 855-8027.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com.
Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Whether building a new home, making an addition to the home you currently own, or finally getting around to that remodeling job you've been putting off, Pace Design and Construction in Maryville can help. Pace Design and Construction is a building and remodeling contractor you can trust. They provide the highest quality, they are dedicated to their customers, and are committed to completing your project on time and within budget. Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Give them a call at 618-407-5466, online at pacedesignconstruct.com, or on Facebook at Pace Construction Design.
And welcome back to This Week in Kahok Nation. My name is Todd Duke. I'm coming at you live, not live, but from my basement up against the sports corner here that we have at the old Duke household. And I wanted to point out to you this little blurry thing going on over here and down around here is not caused from the sunshine, as I was hoping when I did my interview with Allie Underwood. This is my personal phone, which I was going to use to do these recordings, but my phone has, of course, Facebook, and it has the business suite that operates the Kahok Sports Network Facebook page, plus various other apps that I couldn't get rid of. I did get rid of the ones on my phone that I no longer needed, cleaned out all my files, got rid of downloads I no longer used, and still only had 15 minutes left of recording time on my phone. So I had to break out my old phone, which is what you're seeing me on right here, and it's my old phone because I dropped it and shattered the screen. Did not think that I shattered or made any kind of adjustments to the forward-facing lens for the camera, but apparently it did, and I found that out when I did the interview with Allie Underwood, and that's where that little streak comes from down there in that bottom corner, and that's why it looked like it did. So I apologize to her, and I apologize to you. I wanted to point it out to you. That's why I'm using this phone with its forward-facing lens. From now on, I'll use the backwards-facing lens as I have been before. Apparently, that did not break when I dropped the phone. So from here on out, we will be going with the backward-facing lens on the phone instead of the forward-facing lens. So just wanted to clarify that for you. That wraps up episode number 2 of This Week in Kahok Nation. A big thank you to our guest, London Fluss, the senior Kahok golfer. Hope to see him on the baseball field sometime in 2021. Big thank you to Collinsville High School Band Director Bobby Wright for joining us on the show, and again for Allie Underwood, the Collinsville Unit 10 School District's Head of Special Education. We thank all 3 of our guests for visiting with us this week. We will post the previous guests for the previous week on Mondays on our Facebook page, and on Wednesday nights, of course, we will run the show on our usual YouTube channel, and then the next day we will post that same show for you on the Facebook page as well. So, for Clay Smith, another great job there, Coach Smith, on your interview. I'm Todd Duke, and until next week, this has been This Week in Kahok Nation.